Okay, this is a tough one. I'm between Kemba and Trae Young.
Wait, you
but I gotta go.
You don't want the dribbler?
I want somebody that's gonna pass the ball. That's what I want.
I don't see what the joke is, but I didn't even see it. I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I just know none of them can mess with me. But I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball, how to have skill, I take that any day.
Yes, this is real. Giannis picked Kemba Walker after implying that Harden won't pass or move the ball around. Harden basically called Giannis a player with no skill, an MVP with no skill. Imagine if Giannis had skill, right? Players make sarcastic jokes about other players all the time, usually their own teammates, which don't always cause players to get in their fields, and Giannis has tried his hand in stand-up comedy. He's not really that good at it.
You guys see the new movie Constipation? No? What movie? Constipation. It's because he hasn't come out yet.
He has the worst jokes I ever heard.
Harden took it as an attack, words that meant a lot more because of the context. There's history between the two, so let's dive deep. What is up, dudes, dudettes, ballers, players? It's your boy MJ. I really want to unpack this rivalry because this is between two MVP caliber players. Two players leading title contending teams, Alright, it's just really fun to see these guys hate each other. So drop a like for how much skill Giannis doesn't have. 6,329. It's a joke! Made a TikTok to capture this rivalry, doing a giveaway at 10K, and to the 3.7 million people that watch my videos that still aren't subscribed, Giannis has skill, so please subscribe. Also turn on notifications to all so you actually know when I post. This all starts in 2014, a meaningless regular season game in November of 2014. This is Giannis' second year and the Bucks are playing the Rockets. Also, looking at articles of Giannis in 2014 is an absolute gem. There's no telling what type of player Giannis is going to develop into. He was calling Carmelo one of the best players. Man, 2014 was a wild time. That energy was in this game too. The Bucks are down big. Harden is doing his thing and commits an offensive foul on Giannis. Giannis immediately gets up and starts talking to Harden pretty aggressively. Then he knocks the ball off Harden's hands, Harden pushes Giannis while talking, and eventually good old Larry Sanders steps in, which leads to some shoving, pushing, and probably cursing. You remember Larry Sanders, right? Cool. Harden continues to talk to Giannis later on. Larry Sanders was in the NBA during this time. Wow. The nostalgia. I'm not sure what made Giannis do this. If you look at the game before that point, nothing really led to any tension before then. The only really noticeable thing I could find was that Harden made a 3 from the same spot and got fouled. Giannis is in his second year, Harden is an all-star. Harden wasn't the same player he is now, he wasn't as frustrating to defend, but he scored 34 points with 8 assists. I just don't understand the outburst from Giannis. The Bucks in his rookie season finished 15-67. So it wasn't like losing was a foreign concept to him. That season, the Bucks were 10-7 up until that point. Looking at post-game interviews, there wasn't much that was said. Larry Sanders said, "It just got a little physical, that is my little brother. This is my family. I just tried to come in and talk to Harden a little bit, make sure the situation was calm. It kind of got blown out proportion a little bit, it is okay. We are on good terms, so it is all good." So really, there wasn't anything to make of it other than some frustrations and some trash talk. The next game they played on February 6, 2015 was normal. Giannis dropped a career high, the Rockets won by 6. This was when Jason Kidd was coaching and experimenting with Giannis at point guard. There were no altercations, no trash talk, nothing. The only real notable thing was that the Bucks were constantly double teaming Harden even at half court, but still, no real tension. Now I looked into all their other games between then and 2019 and there was nothing. I mean, of course there were plays where Harden scored on Giannis and Giannis scored on Harden, but no real emotion behind it. So I just saved you trouble of going through about 10 games. Then this happened.
Back down low and he hit Harden in the head. From one MVP to another, Ilyasova.
If Giannis did this on purpose, well, props to him, man. That's some real skill right there. It seemed that Giannis wanted to rifle the pass, but held onto the ball a little too long, so the angle of the pass changed and hit Harden in the face. Giannis said it was by accident. Harden wished he could have seen it. This was in January of 2019, and again, nothing really happened from this. No bad blood, no trash talk. The Bucks were also the first defense to start defending Harden on his left side instead of in front of him, which worked for one game. The Rockets and Bucks have had some good battles in the past, but again, no real bad blood. Now there's the whole MVP saga that shouldn't be ignored. Giannis and Harden were the front runners for MVP in the 2018-2019 season. Harden dropped insane numbers, averaging 36 a game. Giannis led the Bucks to the best record in the NBA on 27 points and 12 rebounds a game. Giannis would win MVP, but the interaction between the two wasn't as pleasant. Most of the time, players in the MVP race tend to be cordial towards each other, at least in front of the media. For example, Russ and Harden made each other's cases for MVP back in 2017.
My kid, he averaged a triple-double. There's only one other person in the history of the league that ever did it, so, I mean, he's doing it every single night.
I think it's amazing to see somebody average 25 plus points, 12 plus assists, 8 rebounds, team third in the West.
After Giannis won, Harden said in an interview that the media makes a narrative for a player and runs with it for the entire year, which was pretty much downplaying Giannis as an MVP and saying the only reason he won was because of the media narrative. Giannis, a few months later in October of 2019, still had to defend winning the MVP, saying that's their opinion, and also that the trophy is in my house. It's weird to be defending an MVP months after, but then again, nothing is normal about Harden and Giannis. While both distribute and have some fancy footwork for finishes, it's such a clash of styles. One guard that isolates and dances on the perimeter, one who's a 6'11" power forward that drives to the rim, powering through his opponents. The shots start going back and forth about MVP after the fact is not normal. In this regular season, the Bucks and Rockets had a good game in the opening week. Nothing extra, despite the hostility between Harden and Giannis. Harden acted as if a bowling ball was falling on him when Giannis airballed a 3. Giannis blocked the life out of Harden. Harden drew a foul on Giannis that got Giannis aggravated at the officials, but nothing was really directed at each other. Before we get into the All-Star saga, there was still more that happened this season. In January this year, Giannis said the NBA wants players to flop, that it wants you to be weak because when you're flopping and throwing the ball out, they're just going to call foul. But that's not who I am, that's not what I'm going to do. Now, that could be a shot at James Harden, who draws the most fouls and has a reputation for exaggerating contact and flopping. It also just could be a frustration for the inconsistency of officiating. Either way, I think it was worth mentioning because people did think it was shots at Harden. Now is the All-Star saga, the reason why this video is really being made. Giannis is drafting and I'm just going to roll the clip.
Okay, this is a tough one. I'm between Kemba and Trae Young.
Wait, you
But I gotta go.
You don't want the dribbler?
I want somebody that's gonna pass the ball. That's what I want.
First of all, I'm not sure what Giannis was trying to do with this team. Charles Barkley definitely brought on the joke. Giannis played along to the stereotype that Harden holds on to the ball, but Giannis kind of brought that energy in there when he said he was trying to pick between Trae Young and Kemba, leaving Harden out of his selection. He didn't really have to single out Harden like that. After the All-Star game, Giannis went out and told the media that their plan for the last few possessions was,
we were just trying to, find whoever, James Harden was guarding. You know, that's who we thought we're going to have the opportunity to score on.
It kind of makes sense if you look at who else was on the court. Kawhi and AD should definitely not be targeted. Chris Paul is a decent defender for Kyle Lowry. LeBron could have made sense and Giannis could have went LeBron, but Harden was the weakest defender out of that group. Also, considering the size advantage that Team Giannis had on the court at the time, Team LeBron just couldn't match up, other than Chris Paul and Kyle Lowry. Still, Giannis didn't have to be so blatant with a serious face and take a shot at Harden, again playing to a stereotype that Harden doesn't play defense. Harden didn't really respond until his interview with Rachel Nichols on February 28th, in which he responded to both the passing allegations and then took a shot at Giannis.
Where do you think you rank among the NBA's best players right now?
I feel like I'm the best player.
Was saying, oh, no one wants to take James Harden, he's a dribbler. Giannis Antetokounmpo makes a joke on the air about, I want to take someone who can pass. I'm taking Kemba Walker instead of James Harden.
I average more assists than him, I think. But I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like, that takes no skill at all. I got to actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill, you know? I take that any day.
Harden made some good points. Giannis might have joked around in the draft, but it was coming from some sort of perception of Harden. The whole skill thing, yeah, that was out of pocket, but Harden was trying to show how he's had to really work hard at the game and develop his craft, while Giannis has been given a lot of his gifts, which is also unfair to Giannis because he has worked extremely hard to get to where he is now. And so here we are today. Once again, Giannis and Harden are in MVP conversations, although this time it's pretty clear that Giannis should win. He's averaging 30 points in 31 minutes a game. This rivalry is interesting because of the unwritten rules that it breaks. The NBA is a brotherhood, but in this timeline, Giannis has joked at the expense of Harden and his playstyle. Harden has taken jabs at Giannis and the work he's put into the game. Giannis said that he is not trying to start anything or take shots at anyone, but this rivalry between two of the best players in the world, it's exciting for the league, and honestly, it's really refreshing to see two players just go at it. No sugarcoating. But what do you think? Who's winning the MVP? Who's making the finals? Drop a like for Giannis versus Harden cause it's fun. Yeah, TikTok is there. Thanks. And if you're still here, you a real one, so comment skill so I know. The Instagram shout of the day goes to Ibrahim, and the all-day notification shout goes to my boy, Day One, and Raptors fan, Armand. Thanks for the all-day support. Make sure to hit the bell for all your notifications, and if you're not a sub, hit that subscribe button, join the all-day community for more fire content, all-day support. It's your boy MJ. We out.
Okay, just hop in my spaceship. Okay, just hop in my spaceship. No, no.